Howdy friends, Guthrie Trapp coming here to you from my house over here in East Nashville, Tennessee. Hope everybody had a safe and wonderful 4th of July weekend under these continuingly bizarre circumstances we're in here. They canceled the fireworks downtown in Nashville for obvious reasons, and then I ended up kind of chilling out here at the house, cooked some on the grill. I drank a few cold beers as one does on the 4th of July. My neighbors, though, made up for the fireworks in spades in every direction around me for blocks and blocks and blocks, which I'm a little jealous. I think next year I'm going to have to get on board with some explosives. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit here in a minute about something that I think is very important, but right now I'm going to have a little fun with this loop. I've been trying to dig into this thing a little bit more and more and more. A lot for your benefit, so you can actually hear what I'm doing around some chord changes and stuff. Nothing too crazy here, nothing too fancy, but you'll get the idea. that's plenty of that. No extra charge for mistakes. Just something I'm messing around with, having some fun. I don't go in that kind of vein very often, but you can see something like that is a lot of fun. It's really good practice because obviously it's fast, but it's also, you're just playing over two chords, the 1 and the 5, right? And getting that relationship down is really important. And so this topic that I'm about to talk about, a couple things I'd like to clarify real quick though while I got your attention, is this YouTube channel that I have. It's obviously, the main goal here is to provide something, worthwhile to the guitar community, make some new friends, provide something that hopefully, people are learning something from. But it's also designed to draw attention to my other income streams that I have. I'm not a guitar teacher. I'm a professional guitar player first. And the reason I got into education on the guitar were because of some opportunities that were presented to me that I felt like that I was at the age and had enough experience under my belt now where I could actually help somebody look at how to, look at the instrument the way I do, which is a very concrete feel and ear way of playing music and learning some fundamentals that I think are very important, but then, departing from that and being able to actually be able to play something, right? And nothing I'm playing on here is perfect. I'll be the first one to admit it, but I can shed some light on how to play with some feeling and get around on this instrument in a way that I've learned how to do over the past 30 or 35 years of playing, right? And so there's that. And so that leads me to my next thing. I've been getting not a lot, but a handful of comments of people saying, man, you need a lapel mic, your guitar's louder than your voice, blah, blah, blah. Well, I do these on my iPhone, and like I said, the Artist Works curriculum is shot with, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of audio and video equipment where we sat and filmed for over a week doing incredible in-depth lessons. And that's that department, right? That's that over there. That's what I'm doing with Artist Works. If you do a private lesson with me via Skype or Zoom, I take all these concepts that I'm talking about and we dive in and do it's like a mini clinic, right? You get the video that you can access for the rest of your life if you want and learn some of these fundamentals and some of these kind of like almost interpersonal spiritual ways of looking at the guitar where it needs to translate into making music, right? And so I'm not a very technical person. I'm not a guy that's going to play with a lot of digital amps and digital pedals and a lot of crazy camera work. And you'll notice my videos are unedited. I hit play and I go one take and I go back and I cut the ends off on my iPhone and that's it, right? So I have listened to a few of these on my phone though, and I can hear my voice well enough, I think, and I think the guitar sounds okay to where you guys get the point, right? So I just wanted to clarify that I'm not going for Emmy award-winning performances here by any means. I'm just getting the content across to you guys and the idea, right? So thank you for putting up with that and my lack of technical, knowledge and motivation. And so with that being said, there's another thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about, and it's the difference between being a really good guitar player and being a really, really good musician. And I've been seeing just a lot of stuff lately with, my pentatonic video that I did, that you guys saw that. I know that there's a lot of people out there that want a black and white answer because they can put that over here to the side and move on to the next thing and feel like they're making progress and learning. But there's a lot of gray area here with music, and there are some hard and fast rules, but the main rule is this right here: it's your ear. And if you're hearing and feeling something that you think is good, then it is good. It's like I can't tell you that heavy metal is not a good form of music, or that classical is not a good form of music. It's like colors, it's like food. Music, these are things that are very subjective. Everybody has their own opinions. They're entitled to those. That you can't say that somebody's wrong. I can say that I don't like something, or that I wouldn't do it that way, or that I'm drawn to something over here. But hey, you know what? That's the beauty of being an individual and having our own taste, right? If you cook a steak one way and I cook one the other way, neither one of us is wrong, right? We just might not like it personally. So there's a lot of subjectiveness here. So, but the thing about that is some of these rules, like when I was a kid growing up on the Gulf Coast and I was backing up guys at the Frank Brown International Songwriters Festival at the Floribama Lounge and Package on the Floribama line down on the Gulf Coast. My dad used to take me out there and I'd sit in with all these different bands and musicians when I was 11, 12 years old. And we used to go to the Songwriters Festival every night. I'd end up playing with a bunch of guys either at the festival or after the festival at the beach house, and we'd stay over there till 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And these were guys like Hank Cochran, Red Lane, Mickey Newberry, Rock Kilo, Gove Scrivener, Cadillac Jack Williams, like a lot of really old school, Larry John Wilson, good Lord, one of the greatest ever. And of course, Mickey Newberry and Lefty Frizzell and guys like that were over there. And I'm sitting there playing my mandolin or my acoustic guitar, at the edge of the table with these guys. And the first thing I learned as a kid was, don't play over the vocals, right? Which this stuff is instilled in you when you're little. And if somebody's singing and you can't hear them, then you're playing too much, playing too loud, not listening to the right thing. That old rule of listening to everybody else before yourself, it's really true. Or if not, it's even if you don't take that 100%, it's something good to start with, Listen to the other members of the band. Listen to what they're doing. If a guitar player's playing down here, you probably need to play something up here. If a guy's playing rhythm, maybe play some fills, But definitely, be conscious of these things. Being a good guitar player and being able to shred and play a bunch of licks and stuff like that, that's great. And a lot of people have that facility. But the difference between being a really good guitar player and a really good musician are hugely different. Guys that are great musicians, it wouldn't matter what instrument they play. They're conscious of what it takes to make music really happen, right? All those old cliches that you've always heard for a million years, less is more, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're all true. I mean, less is more. And you realize when you start recording that something that you've been playing in the bar room for 15 years and then you play it on a session, you realize, man, I've been overplaying. I can cut what I'm doing in half at least just to start, right? Cut your playing in half. Some of these things in Nashville, we might do a session. Well, the only thing you play could be this. That's overplaying, but I mean, you can play really simple. Let's see, really, playing, and of course I'm trying to make this entertaining for you guys, whatever, but stuff like that, that's really, going into another chapter here is playing what's right for the song. And this is where the pentatonic thing and the scales and all this kind of stuff, this is where it gets really important, because all these rules that we have, all the scales and everything that you think works over these chords and the pentatonics and all that stuff, it really comes down to, and this is where the gray area is, and the mystery of music, and the beautiful thing about it is, it really comes down to the song. It comes down to the song that you're playing, or their feeling and the emotion that you're wanting to convey. And so if you're sitting down and playing by yourself and you're running through a bunch of patterns and stuff and pentatonics and scales and stuff, a lot of guys I'm seeing are starting in one key, and then by the time they get through a couple passes, they're in a completely other key and kind of weaving in and out, and they're not really listening to what's going on, and that's a big thing. And so, like I said in another video, when you sit down to practice, get these keys in your head. Play in C for 10 or 15 minutes before you make a conscious effort of changing keys. So you really have something to kind of work with here. And so that's when your ear's going to get really good. You're going to start, you're going to be able to hear how one chord leads to the next and how these progressions work and stuff, right? And so these are the things like, the best thing you can do is, and I'll say this again until I'm blue in the face and until I'm gone, but you playing along to records is the best resource that you have at home by yourself when there's not a band, there's not another guy to play with. The best thing you can do is pick up your guitar and try to learn songs off records. Try to learn solos note for note. Try to learn fills. Try to learn any content off of records that you love, because that's what's going to make you a really good musician as well as a good guitar player. And so, I just can't stress that enough, guys. I mean, I'm trying to really give you, I got nothing to hide. I'll give you everything that I've learned in the past 30, plus years of playing music and sessions and live gigs all over the place. The thing is like I said, I'm not a guitar teacher. I'm a guitar player first and foremost. So I know what me and my peers in Nashville use daily to be able to navigate our way through this world of music, and so it's not sitting here thinking about the modes and the scales and all that stuff. It's really listening and of course, I'm talking about a balance, but I'm stressing these other things because I see it being out of balance. And so to me, that's just something that's very, 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 very important. And just being conscious of working on being a good musician, not just a good guitar player. Because like I said, there's a huge difference. And, that's about it. I mean, I'm about ready to get out of here, let you guys be. I know it's Sunday on a 4th of July weekend. I'm going to go down and have a little wine. But I just wanted to share that with you. I think this is something that's very important. And there's enough stuff on YouTube of shredding and scales and exercises and notation and tablature and all that kind of stuff. And I want to bring in like our buddy Uncle Larry, who of course I'm a big fan of and a friend, and he nails everything 100% because he has so much experience and he's a soulful cat, right? So guys like us, we want to kind of counterbalance the other stuff that's going on out there and really get into the soulfulness and what really works as a musician. Listening, being conscious of every single note mattering. Don't just play licks from memory because you can. Think about every single note and how that applies to what you're really going for. That's enough on that. And I hope that that crazy loop didn't give you an anxiety attack. It's pretty wild, but and it almost did me too. But anyway, no extra charge for mistakes. Check out my website. Check out the mailing list. I got to do some shameless self-promotion more now than ever because of what we're dealing with here with all the gigs being shut down. And my friend John Oates and Daryl, they had to cancel their tour. Everybody is just canceled until looking into 2021. So support your musicians. Keep the music alive. Keep playing. And just thanks a lot for all the positive comments. Thanks for the support. Thanks for guys that signed up to the mailing list. That's been growing greatly. Growing great the past couple weeks. So I just wanted to share some of that stuff with you guys. Thanks for being patient with me. Thanks for dealing with the lack of microphones and all this kind of stuff. It's not going to get any better unless something real easy comes along for me to use. But anyway, like I said, yeah, check out all the stuff, and I look forward to seeing you guys down the road real soon. Thanks again. All right, bye.